Today we're revisiting the first WWF Smackdown on PS1, where the gameplay moved at 100 miles per hour, and most matches, for some reason, ended in a KO. This was the first WWF game on the PlayStation to be published by THQ, who took over from the previous publisher, Acclaim. Acclaim's last WWF game on the PS1 was WWF Attitude, which depended on players inputting Tekken-like button combinations to execute moves. Smackdown did away with this, instead giving players a far simpler system. Pressing a D-pad direction with circle performs a grapple move, whereas pressing a D-pad direction with X performs a striking move, so it's much simpler. But you'll essentially be using the same 4 moves over and over. As will the AI, who often resort to using just one. Give it a break, Steve! You have 3 other options! Jesus! Another improvement was the addition of backstage areas. For years, players had dreamed of recreating the arena sprawling hardcore bouts that were common at the time, and now they could. You'd move from area to area by Irish whipping an opponent into various doors. Smackdown only features one match type that you couldn't previously find on WWF Attitude: Special Guest Referee. The Special Guest Referee never calls the match fairly, and rapidly pressing R2 as the ref allows you to do a fast count, this is how many friendships ended. A quick note about the Royal Rumble. This is probably the fastest you can win one, as wrestlers don't need to have taken any damage at all in order to be thrown out of the ring. You can really clear house quite easily here. Gone are the entrances showing wrestlers walk down the ramp and into the ring. WWF Smackdown has entrances where the wrestlers walk for a few seconds in front of their Titantron video. We weren't a fan of this, as it really drove home just how much the character models didn't resemble the real-life superstars. Gone also is the commentary, replaced instead by some ear-piercing music. You can turn this off in the settings, but this also mutes the entrance music as well, which is rather silly. WWF Smackdown also introduced the finisher icon mechanic. Unlike in WWF Attitude, where you could perform your finisher as often as you wanted to opponents with low health, here you can perform your finishing maneuver on anyone as long as you have an icon, which you can earn by filling up your red bar by doing moves. This has been a staple of the series ever since. You could also have title matches, as well as see the history of each championship, which we thought was a really cool addition. Want Rocky and Test to win the tag team titles? No problem, WWF Smackdown has you covered. Look at that, forever etched in history. As this is a wrestling game, of course there's an option to create your own wrestler. However, this incarnation of Create a Wrestler is a little odd. Whereas you don't have much in the way of appearance options, you're able to fully customize your wrestler's personality, choosing their fighting style, character, ability, and logic. The highlight of the game for many of us was the Season Mode. Playing the Season Mode allows you to take your favourite superstar through multiple years of events and matches. Some of the random matches you'll see, however, are a little odd. Paul Bearer and Triple H in an I Quit match. I bet that put some bums on seats. Creative wrestlers can take part in a pre-season, where through winning matches you are able to earn ability points. Ability points can unlock more moves for your created superstar, as well as how much damage they'll do to opponents. Throughout both pre-season and the main season mode, you'll see plenty of backstage cutscenes. Many of these give you an option to interact with other superstars, giving you the opportunity to make both friends and enemies. The game received favourable reviews from critics, with many agreeing that even though it was a little rough and ready, it was still undeniably the best wrestling game so far on the PS1. But what did you think? First up, Adam says, I remember settling wrestlers I hated as player 2, and then beating the living daylights out of them. A glorious stress relief. I can see how this would help after a tough day, Adam. Pete commented, I spent hours on it. Best memory is the season mode where you could go many years into the future. I think I stopped my Jeff Hardy career at around 2050. Poor Jeff, still wrestling in his early 70s. Claire remembers, once you've already done the People's Elbow with The Rock, he will continue to pull it off when you keep doing it. We remember this too, Claire. They fixed this in the later games because it looks so stupid. Giuliano recalls being blown away by the visuals. I remember looking at those graphics and thinking to myself, man, gaming graphics couldn't possibly get any better than this. Brian says, I played this again recently and the wrestlers are invincible. They just keep getting up time and time again. That's right, Brian. No matter how much damage your opponent takes, they'll never stay down for longer than a few seconds. A little annoying when you're playing as a wrestler who has a top rope finishing move. Stay down! I need like 3 seconds to do a move! And finally, Tom remembers, I remember spending hours and hours in the backstage areas. I'm sure I remember that you could throw plates and beat people with vegetables. You have a very good memory, Tom. Do you remember playing WWF Smackdown? What are your memories? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos in the future. Cheers!